Right, just getting my bearings. I'm actually multi-streaming this today. So I'm just checking that it's appearing in all the right places. It looks like it's at least appearing in Twitch. So I can... There's meant to be a consolidated chat I can use, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I'll keep an eye on Twitch chat. If I shut it down again and put it back up, just bear with me. Right. Just testing. There we go. It seems to be working now. Okay, well, welcome to another week of live streaming. As usual, I've got my little list of things I did this week. Quite a bit of stuff, actually. A couple of new cards. So I've got a big barrage card. Any name suggestions, by the way? Let me know if you've got any good puns, any fun names. I'm not great with coming up with great names. Anyway, this one costs 2 munitions, which is it's new to be able to have more than 1 munition, and it fires like 12 projectiles, I think. So you kind of get more. The traditional one is 6, and so sorry 5. So actually, it's more than twice that you would get with 2 normal barrages. Then I've got a replicator. That's quite an exciting one. So this is as the projectile is going towards the enemy, adds 2 more. Hopefully, you'll get a chance to play with that today. There's a ability to shunt salvos off the edge, and hopefully I'll show you that. In fact, I've got card of the week is shunt salvos, so I'm really hoping I can show you that because that's really fun. And the fires will now hurt the room and the crew members. Reptorians, instead of just hanging around like half dead, just blocking a repair slot, they will sort of disappear. So that's made it a little bit more difficult for the enemy. It's actually more difficult. I haven't got it on here actually, but the enemy can now make the most. They're going to be a lot more deadly because they can make use of all of their weapons now. One big thing that took a lot of time was updating the intership zone visuals. So hopefully you'll see that soon. And there's a few other things that I've done to improve the user experience. And a bit of balance, because every time I play this, I think, I think I could tweak. So they're just tweaks, really. So, but without getting any more into that, I'm going to just start. So once again, we are heading towards Earth, 20 light years away. Devastation. Don't think I talked about that too much before, but this is going to be essentially your score. If you can get to Earth and minimize your devastation, you're going to have a better score than if you get to Earth and it's almost completely been ravaged by the Reptorian hordes. Just going to move. There we go. We found a Reptorian scout heading towards us, roughly. They haven't detected us, but they're heading towards us. So I'm going to skip to the next day, and we have intercepted them. Here they are. So yeah, this is the new intership zone. So it's a little bit more, I think it looks a bit nicer now. It's a bit more sort of streamlined. I've got a sort of new maneuvers panel. I have no idea how to spell maneuvers. You tell me. I think like this is the American spelling, which I'm generally going for American spellings, just to be consistent. I think in English you have a lot more E's and O's and stuff. But there we go. And I've made these buttons a bit more clear about what they do. So, and you'll see how the intership zone looks in a minute when I start firing things. So effective command, which gives me 2 extra draws, which is really useful initially because now I've got 2 extra draws to play with. Got some torpedoes here. So what I'm going to do first is move closer. So you can see how that has now actually shrunk down the zone. Previously it was a little less clear about what was happening, whereas now you can see the zone's only one unit of distance away. So when I fire these lights now, you can see that it's going to make contact next turn. So I think this is a lot clearer than it used to be. You've got five light torpedoes, going to hit next turn. And I would use shunt salvo, but I will actually just shunt it 1 step forwards. I'll show you in a minute how I can shunt it during my turn, which is really cool. Reload that gun. I've reduced the amount of energy we produce per turn back to 2 because 3 was way too generous, I think. There we go. So I've taken down their point defense. I've damaged their torpedo, but not very much. Their torpedo is still coming towards me. I'm going to save that point defense for next turn. I might use the scramble now. Ion pulse would be good. Maybe later. I'm going to fire another light, see if I can take out that. They're going to flip, so I'll probably hit the other side. You know what? I was going to show you something else, actually. That actually there's a different tactic you can take rather than just blasting their hard points here. If you don't blast them, you get more salvage because I've increased the amount of salvage you get for intact weapons. But I've pretty much smashed them up, so I might as well carry on. Which I'm hoping adds a bit of tension, so you don't necessarily, if you think you can take them, you might want to take them in a different way rather than smashing up all their valuable stuff. But if smashing up their valuable stuff is a quick way to win, so it's a balance. Reload. Now use the basic point defense. I think I'm going to try and take that hit. Could evade it, but that will cost 1 more energy, and I'm going to save it for next turn. I will lock on now. See if I can get basics. Yeah, let's fire those. I might as well carry on with the strategy of smashing in this way. And I'm going to call that a turn. No, reload. So it hit, but it didn't do any heavy damage. So I'm not even going to bother repairing it. So this is what I wanted to show you. So we've got this situation where they're about to fire point defense and shoot down 4 of my incoming torpedoes. So previously my only options were to do something like ion pulse to take down their engines, but I don't have enough energy for that right now. Or I could maybe shunt it back, but there weren't many options at this point. What I've got now is I can shunt it forwards and into them, so I can shunt it and actually make contact. So if I do that, tough luck, geezers. You didn't get to shoot it down. Now they're going to sort of essentially waste this turn, which is quite satisfying. It's quite powerful, but I quite like it. Makes me feel good, and I guess that's what the game's about. So I fire. Oh, now I don't want to fire torpedoes now because I know that they're going to shoot them down. So I'm going to wait this turn and then fire them next turn. Now I want to shoot that down, but I don't have any point defense ammo on this side. I could go back and evade, or I could hope I get a reload. There we go. So reload. Use the effective command, which gives me 2 draws. Got 7 draws. That's quite good. Shoot that down. Reload that at last minute. Are they going to shoot? No. So I'm going to keep shooting at them. So I could shunt this forwards again, but I might just let it do its natural thing. And I'm just tempted to take that down. So they're going to flip again. There's nothing I can really do about that. I could ion pulse them, but I don't have the energy, and they'd also probably just flip again next turn. So I'm going to scramble them again. Scramble only costs 1, by the way, now, which used to cost 2. So I'm starting to use scramble. Some chats. Hello, everybody. Yeah, feel free to chat and sort of. What I was going to do soon is I was going to make it so that you can rename the crew, rename your crew, and then whoever comes up to chat, I can start naming. You can start choosing the names of the crew as we start this. So reload, lock on. Nope. So they flipped. Okay, so they're really sad now. So they've got no engineers, so they can't repair. He's sad, he's panicking. At this point, I'm just going to end turn because I don't think there's anything they can do. So I want to take as much loot as I can. So this is the other screen that I was working on this week. So now you can see how much matter you get for each one of these. So undamaged armor, you get 10. You can see the bracket's 10. If it's damaged, you get half of it. You get 5. And this is where I was going earlier, where you might not want to smash up their weapons because you only get 10% if it's heavily damaged. So if I hadn't damaged that, it would have been worth 40 matter. Luckily, these engines are worth 30, but these smashing up all of those weapons made it easy for me to win, but it means that I didn't get so much reward. So I've added a bit more XP for winning, so a lot of them have upgraded this time, so they got extra cards. That's more just to try, and I'm trying to get this a little bit more snappy for these streams. I'm not sure this will be the final balance. So I'll go to my crew. Let's see what I can get for them. So Jimmy, Club Commander. Find weak spot. I always tend to pick early on. It's very powerful. Add 4 drawers will be useful later when I start getting a fatter deck. We're not having morale issues yet, so I don't need to increase the morale. So I'm going to make the armor vulnerable. This should, I write my little notepad. Vulnerable armor should tell you what vulnerable does, because I can do it. I just haven't remember to do it. Okay, so I'll pick vulnerable armor. The helmsman, outmaneuver is good. Hold steady will be good for. Outmaneuver is really good to make sure that they're flipped onto the right side, but it's very expensive in energy. Hold steady would be quite nice just to get sort of an accurate shot. Violent maneuver is quite good for evasion. So actually this is a tough choice, and I like tough choices. It means the game's starting to come together. I haven't really got much of a deck yet. I think I'm going to go for Hold Her Steady, because I don't think I've actually shown that one in a live stream yet. So Helen, muscly Helen. We're not getting to shielded enemies yet, so phase torpedo seems a little bit overkill. Reloading frenzy is a new one, which I will show you. So reload all guns in gunnery deck. I need to say, this is what I'm going to try. I was just adding, I didn't get a chance to add it before today, but it adds a fatigue card to your hand, which will clog up your hand for a bit. So I'm going to pick this just to show it off. Thermal pulse. Yeah, I'll do the replicator because that's one of the new ones. That's quite fun. I want to add a lot more cards like this, cards that affect things in flight. Show that to you. I'll explain that more when you see it. And I always pick overload because that's really good early on, where you don't have much when you've only got a level 1 reactor. So the overload reactor means that you get more energy production, but it has a chance of doing damage to the engine. But it's almost always worth it. The reactor, but it's almost always worth it. So if I go to the ship, I've got 292, and I always try and save up for the reactor first, because going up from level 2 to 3 energy production is huge. It's a really big deal. So I could upgrade the torpedo launcher, but I'm just going to save up, and maybe next time I will try not to smash up all of their weapons. Let's head back to Earth. So we've been detected by a scout, and they are either brave or stupid because they're heading towards us. So let's meet them. So this is showing that we've got 0.4 days. I'm going to go really slowly because they're coming towards me. And I'm going to engage. So they're a little bit tougher than last time. They've got some level 2 armor here, but they haven't been very clever about where they put it. They're not really the places they shoot. So I'm going to try and demonstrate what happens if you don't shoot out all their weapons. And I might go straight into the reactor. Actually, the best thing to go into is the bridge, because the bridge, they really don't like being, A, killed. There's 2 people in here. And B, the bridge, they have quite a bad morale penalty. So I'm going to take these effective commands, get a bunch of good draws. That's a really good initial hand, actually. And I'm going to just start shooting. Just start shooting. Reload. Oh, hold her steady. I'm going to wait. Wait for that one. Overload reactor might as well. Okay, so that has done some damage. So I need to repair it. Sophia's got the ion pulse. And... oh, I just swapped them. Victoria has lock on. I think, Sophia, you're going to repair. So I just moved Sophia to repair. And the reason I was checking cards is because while they're repairing, their cards aren't available. You just saw it fly into her, got taken out of the deck. I've got a question from the chat. Are ship upgrades what you spend matter on? Yes. So that's the only thing you can spend matter on at the moment. I'm hoping next time I'm going to have a shop. I'm going to have a shop that means it's not going to be a shop. It's going to be like you have found a colony that hasn't been taken over by the Reptorians, and you can land your ship there and you can repair it. You can fix some of the structural integrity damage. You can buy some cards, or you can get some more weapons and upgrade your ship. So I think you won't be able to upgrade your ship anywhere. You'll be able to do it at the shops. But yes, that will use matter and maybe energy for things that make sense to use energy. But yeah, you've got 2 resources, energy and matter. And at the moment, matter's used to upgrade your ship. So you can see, as because I've done this overload reactor, which doesn't have the right symbol anymore, it's giving me 2 extra energy for this turn. So plus 2 energy production for 1 turn. And that tooltip looks terrible. So I'm going to fix that. I go through this video afterwards and I write down and I just start like generating bugs. And one day I'm going to make more features than I do bugs. That's going to be a good day. So I'm going to hold her steady, use 1 energy, and then I'm going to basic torpedoes. Can you see how sort of this is smaller? That the area is much smaller than it was. But because I'm holding her steady, I get 3 extra targeting for this 1 turn. So I can sneak in here, try and get through this sort of thinner patch here, which is core to the... I can't reload, I don't have enough energy. I should probably move a bit closer. I might move closer. So now they're going to start shooting things down. So my options here are... I can't really shunt it forwards twice. I could if I had 2 shunts. Reloading frenzy. So this one creates this fatigue card here, which I want to try it, but at the moment it costs 2 and I don't have enough things unloaded. This because it reloads all guns in the gunnery deck, you really want to have a lot of these used. So this encourages flipping. So I'm trying to think about game mechanics and stuff. So what I want to do, my strategy now should be sort of flip and fire something and then use reloading frenzy. Scramble. So I'm just going to save what I've got and they're just going to have to get shot down. Could be worse. I'm not doing much damage to that level 2 armor, so I'm going to have to try and get my find weak spot involved. So we've got light torpedo. So what I could do now is, how much energy have I got? I'm going to flip. Fire the lights. Lights don't do very much damage, unfortunately. But then I can show you the reloading frenzy. So if I do that, it's going to, it loaded all the guns on both sides, but it's added this fatigue card in here. And that basically doesn't do anything, this card. It just clogs up my deck. But volatile, which it should explain when I hover over. For some reason, they're not hovering. All the hover effects aren't appearing here. So I'm going to have to fix that. But it should say volatile means that it will immediately evaporate in my hand. So next time you see it, it will evaporate. It only lasts for a bit. It's only for temporary fatigue is what it's trying to simulate. Let's just fire more stuff. I don't really need that many evades, although they're firing at me now. That's really tough armor. Oh yeah, they're flipping, and I actually want them to flip because this side looks sort of softer. So this one's going to hit next turn. So we're after they've flipped. It would be really nice if I had a replicator. I'll show you that. That's cool. So this replicator adds 2 projectiles to a salvo that's already in flight. So if I do it to this one, it will now fire 7. It will hit 7. So I'm just kind of buffing that one. And I think this is going to be really cool to add a lot of these ones. So I might add ones that add phasing to it, so that it goes through shields as it's in flight. And I think that's going to add some really cool combinations that you can make. Hey, find weak spot. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to put that, because they're flipping, I want to put it on this side so that when they flip, it's going to hit those 7 torpedoes. So hopefully going to hit that bit and make it and do extra damage, because when you make it vulnerable, it does double damage. Reload. And I could even shunt it forward. No, I can't. I haven't got enough energy. I'm just going to have to wait. Here we go. So hopefully my plan will come off. 12. Yes. Yes. That was really good. So now they're like having some sad times. The bridge is damaged. Can you see? Bridge is damaged, -12. So if my strategy pays off, you're going to see that I'm going to get a lot more salvage from this, because I'm saving the juicy bits, the bits that cost money. That produce more salvage. So, but I do have to worry about this guy coming towards me. That's about to hit me. And it's a lot more obvious and scary now with this new redesigned into ship zone. Oh, watch out, it's coming. So I've got options here. I could move away and just save the problem for another day, or I could just shoot it down. So I'm going to shoot it down. And I'm not going to reload it. So this is an interesting tactic where I'm not going to just use my reloads. I'm going to wait for that reloading frenzy, because that will reload everything. The other thing I can do is shunt that back. I can shunt that back, but I don't feel like I've got tons of energy. So I'm just going to lock on. So reloading frenzy, I'm going to save. I wonder if I can shoot some more stuff off. Replicator's fun. Effective command. I just want a gun. So this is the fatigue card. It's come round. It's wasted a draw. It's just sitting there in my hand now. Watcher my Carbonics Genius. I'm now officially the oldest person on Twitch. Is that you, Peter? Yeah, Dolphin Brand Man. That's got to be Peter. Anyway, so fatigue. So if I can actively discard that, and it will, you'll watch there'll be a sort of dissolve animation, and it's gone now. So I'm no longer fatigued. Whoever was fatigued is now recovered. So now I can set that up, and again it's done some damage. I know 50% wasn't good to me, and it's. Who do I want to put in? Who's got the most? Yeah, I don't need that ion pulse that much. So I'm going to send her to repair. So this is the repair here. You can see that the reactor is now under repair. Because if I did it again and I took damage, then the reactor would be completely offline and I would get 0 energy. So replicator, I want to save that. I'm going to save that reload. I'm just going to save my energy for next turn. So not too worried about that. They're going to panic next turn, I think. I think that damage to their bridge has shaken them up. So let's try and hit this little gap here. So one of the things about this game is that you're trying to sort of dig holes into the ship. So it's not like there aren't going to be many things that attack directly inside. It's usually about trying to find your way into the juicy Reptorian insides. And hopefully you'll see what I've done with killing them. I was going to have a really gory animation, but I think I'm going to save that for another day. At the moment, they just dissolve in this load of particles. I might just shunt this forwards so that it hits next turn. I'm not going to reload. I'm going to flip and use the ones on this side, because I want to save that reloading. Oh, find weak spot. So I could weak spot this one, couldn't I? There. So that means that this one is going to hit. If it hits any of that, it does double damage. I'm going to save. So I haven't explained point defense. So point defense is more effective when it's close, which is why I don't use it now. So it does it 4 minus the distance. So if I do it on this one, it's going to be 3 because the distance is 1. If that makes sense. So next turn, I'll be able to shoot 4 down with the same card. They're not really worrying me with their... I'm not going to scramble their targeting. I'm just going to fire more at them. Right, here we go. So this is coming in. Heavy damage, heavy damage. Oh, do you see I eviscerated their captain? That's not going to be good for their morale. So 1 crew killed, taken much more damage. Their bridge is damaged. They're panicking. It's all gone horribly wrong for them now. Anyway, I think that's going to be the end of them, but I might as well just carry on. I might as well shoot this thing down, actually. Oh, I should have done that, and then I should have done the reloading frenzy, and I would have got all 4 guns done with 1 card, which would have been really satisfying. But I'm very tired. I've run out of steam today. Oh yes, the other thing I've added is the exhaust pile. So I'm going to add more exhausty cards, but these are piles that things have been taken out of your deck for the duration of this combat. So they're panicking, so they're too scared to do anything. Oh, so that uses energy but doesn't do anything. So if I just wait 1 more turn, this is going to hit something, nothing in particular. I'm going to, there we go, victory. So you'll notice this time I've got 270 because I've got 40 for that, 40 for that. I've got 20 for this. That one was severely damaged, but there we go. I got a bit more matter. So that's the risk reward I was trying to go for. Was you can shoot down their weapons, great, and that really is really effective, but it might hit your long-term progress because you're really trying to get that matter. So, Nick, withering torpedoes. So these ones add vulnerable when they hit. So if we're going for a bit of a vulnerable run, they're quite good. And I did fix a bug with this where it was ticking them down too eagerly. And I had to do, it took me longer than I thought to fix that one. And Helen, you're getting a lot of cards. Splitters. Oh, I love splitters. Splitters are good because, and they're still seriously overpowered. Splitters, they double every single turn. So it starts off with only 2, but obviously that goes to 4, and it goes to 8, and then 16. I think that's too powerful, but it's super fun. So until it sort of, I find that I'm breaking the game with this card, I'm going to maybe keep that because it's insane. Here's my new card, Big Barrage. So it takes 2, but it fires 12 torpedoes, which is quite good for overwhelming their point defense. And it's also quite good. There's a card called Pack Extra Munitions, and that will increase the amount of damage each projectile does. So if you imagine I could add 2 damage, so if I could make 8 damage for 12, that's tons of damage. So if I had one of those, if I had those 2 cards, that'd be a perfect synergy. But Smashes is quite good if I'm going for a vulnerable run. So Smashes do triple damage to vulnerable armor, but only half damage to everything else. So it's quite a specialist card. I'll pick that up. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Peter. Don't know if he sent that a while ago. I can only check the chat so much. I could get another overload, but I might as well just... So I still need more cards because I'm still starting to get offered cards I have already. So I'm just going to skip that one. And I'm going to go to the ship because I think I've got enough money for a reactor upgrade. There we go. Perfect. So now my reactor produces 3 every turn. And I'm going to proceed to Earth. Got plenty of energy. Oh. Sometimes you go for like days without meeting anybody, and sometimes you meet them all the time. I've got to work on whether it should be totally random. Eventually the chance of meeting them will be, you'll be able to see the chance, and it will be based on how stealthy you are, and the chance of you detecting them will be depending on how good your sensors are, and you'll be able to upgrade both of those as part of your ship upgrades. But for now, it's just totally random, which is not quite right because sometimes you can go almost up to Earth and you haven't seen anybody, and then you hit some crazy difficult enemy, or sometimes you meet loads of people and you're just farming loads of experience. So I haven't managed to get that bit of the pacing done. Nevertheless, I'm more interested at the moment in building up the deck and getting, interesting decisions. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, what's gone wrong? This is my first on-stream error. Actual genuine error that I can't proceed. And of course, it's a null reference exception. It always is. Reset deck. Oh, I know what it's going to be. I think this is because I've got a I had that expired that card that was the fatigue card. I don't think I'm handling cards that went into the exhaust pile properly. What I'm going to do is save and exit, and then I'm going to close this and see if I can continue from where I left off. There we go. So that seems to have fixed it. So I think because there was this exhaust pile card, it needs to clear those out, I think, at the end of combat. And I hadn't played it enough to see that, which is what these sessions are all about. I'm absolutely amazed I haven't had a game-breaking crash in the two streams that I've done already. So there we go. Right, so 3 energy feels like amazing, and it almost feels like I should build a shield to use some of the energy. But so you can so there's 2 choices with the energy. I can either use it to build shields, which use energy every turn, or I can start investing in expensive cards that use a lot of energy. So I guess I'm going for the latter. So see how it goes for me. I'm going to get closer and I'm going to fire some of these guys. What's my strategy this time? I've got loads of energy. I could do the same strategy of going for this. It's quite a good strategy. Or I could go for their energy production. The problem is that the energy, if I break this, then I won't get so much energy. But I have got quite a lot of energy, and I'm not spending it that much. But I can get to Earth quicker if I've got more energy because I can go at full speed. Let's see if I can get for the bridge again. That worked really well last time. Overload. I got unlucky again. That's what I mean about random. If the numbers are truly random, you get a random result. I'm going to do the same trick of trying to use all of my weapons and then do a big reload at once, if I can get it. Let's fire lights with this one. Oh, here. Those lights are pathetic. Lights are really designed so that you can snipe. So if you had something like the hold her steady, you could hold her steady. You could, if there was one weapon that was really strong, like this point defense that was really causing you trouble, you could snipe onto it, just fire those lights. It doesn't have a chance to shoot them down before it gets there. But lights aren't very good at getting through armor, as you can see, especially level 2 armor. It barely made a scratch on that. So what I'd like to do is see if I can shunt those forwards. Hold her steady. Maybe I'll save that one. I'm going to save 1 point. There's not much I can do. I'm just going to have to let those guys get taken down. I haven't got enough draw. It's a shame. 1 got through, and it hit the heavy armor. So this guy, can you see, he's leveled up one of his torpedoes. So he's got 2 on this side. So that's going to be fun when he flips. Now, I've got loads of energy. Which I'm going to use one of these point defenses. There we are. Reloading frenzy is what I was after. So I'm going to reload all 3 of those guns for the price of 2 energy and 1 fatigue. Maybe that's too much. Maybe it should be 1 energy and a fatigue. Maybe that's worth thinking about. Balancing all this is an art unto its own. So withering torpedoes. What I might do is hold her steady first. Fire these witherers right into this lovely little soft patch here. What would be cool is if I could replicate those, wouldn't it? And I could have 5 going in. I'm going to actually use my normal reloads here. And I'm going to try and smash in a bit more. Oh, you know what? I'm going to wait a turn, and I'm going to wait for these withering torpedoes to do to get these this vulnerable, and then I'm going to fire those. Oh, smashers though, I will send those off because smashers do triple triple, no, is it double? Triple damage to vulnerable armor. So if all goes to plan, these will hit, make it vulnerable, and then these will hit and they will smash through the vulnerable armor and do all sorts of hell. They're only reloading this turn, so that gives me one turn of... They're going to flip, aren't they? They are trying to evade, but interestingly, because they see my smashes as more deadly, they're not attacking my witherings. So, what to do? What would be really nice now is my... Oh no, okay, good. What I really want is... Oh, did I get rid of it? Where is it? Ion. I'm looking for the ion pulse. This looks like a bug. Who's got ion pulse? Don't you, Sophia? Oh, man. Okay. So I think if I move her away and back, now ion pulse is in here. I've had all sorts of trouble with this, trying to get them after the battle, getting everything back to where it should be. I'll have to see what I did there and retrace my steps. But now it's back in my deck. In theory, I can draw that, but I'm not going to draw it anytime soon, am I? So I'm just going to have to take this, I think. I mean, it's only one. They're only going to evade one, so it's not the end of the world. I could shunt this, but if I do that, it's not going to make any difference. I don't think. So let's go. So here we go. Bam, bam, bam. So 18 damage. So yeah, that worked perfectly. It made this vulnerable, and then it smashed through, did 18 damage, and I've hit Bill, the captain, and Mike is managed to get off. This is where I need those shredder torpedoes to get in there nicely. Find weak spot. Save that. Oh, I'm going to just carry on going. Might do weak spot on that. Reload. Basic torpedoes. This is what you can do with lots of energy, by the way. You can start really going to town with your offense. It's almost like too much going from 2 to 3. Going from 2 to 3 is a bit overkill, actually. Oh no, you know what they're doing? They're flipping. This is where I really, really could have done with that ion, because then I could have stopped them flipping. I've got this nice juicy side, and they've decided to flip their ship. So I am going to actually shunt this in, because I'm not going to get a chance to get in again. Oh, I thought I was going to get Bill there. So Bill's quite badly damaged. If I had some fire cards, that would be fun, because that would start burning them. Okay. I've run out of draws. So now it's not energy that's limiting me. It's how many draws I'm getting. Right, I'll save that replicator. I'm going to... I don't need to evade anything. They seem to be on the back foot. They have... Oh, ion pulse, at last! That would have been really useful. One thing I've done, actually, is make it so that when you ion pulse the reactor... I need to stop this horrible flashing that happens when I do this. But when I ion pulse their gunnery, it stops all of their weapons working. So I could do that, and I could stop them firing at all. Maybe I should, but in some ways I like to save my ion pulses for getting more torpedoes in rather than defending. I don't really need to do much defense, actually, because they're not really doing much to me. So what I really want to do is reload that gun. I really want to flip them. Let's flip them. Flip me. I'm going to do... Let's do some witherers on this side. And then I could replicate them in a minute when they get a bit closer, and I'm sure they're going to hit. Okay, so here we go. I saved my ion pulse like a good boy. So that means I can now go boom. Now their point defense cannons are no longer going to shoot me. So this is going to get free passage. What I can do is replicate that. So I get 5 withering torpedoes, which will be lovely. And then I want to reload. And then I'm going to fire my smashes. And if the cherry on the top would have been a shunt, so I could have shunted that forwards. Maybe I should have fired my lights. That would have been good. Then it would have hit that turn. But I'm patient. I'll just wait until the next turn. So I've got this fatigue card, which at the end of my turn, it should just crumble away into dust. There we go. So my fatigue is now out. And I probably get that bug again next time I come in. Next time I go to the next combat. Because I think it's something to do with this card in here isn't getting cleaned up at the end. So I need to start doing some defensive duties here. Point defense, but what I'm gonna do is this old trick of flip, shoot that, wait for the mega reload, although I haven't got the mega reload, so I don't know what I'm really doing here. Oh, they're gonna shoot down everything. What am I gonna get with my last? They're gonna shoot down all of them. That's a shame. Oh well. So I'm not going to use my find weak spot because there's nothing to hit. There we go. I won anyway. Oh, the flip mechanic's a fun twist. Yeah, I think flipping it, I had a lot of thinking about flipping because originally I had the ship being in all sorts of directions. Like you could go from any direction, and then I felt like this flip mechanic was quite nice, that you have one side and then the other side is a sort of side of, the idea is that you're meant to be taking damage on one side and then flipping it and then doing all the repairs on the side that's been damaged while the other side's doing some work. And then I think the flip mechanic is pretty good once you get your head around it. But yeah, thank you. I'm just reading the chat, by the way. That's someone said the flip mechanic's a fun twist. Pun not intended. Yeah, good. Right, so because I wasn't attacking their weapon mounts, I've got plenty of matter. So and I got some more people upgrades. So upgrade time. What are you going to get? There's another find weak spot. I think I'm going to. I don't need more morale. It's fine. There is a card that you can trade. You can do. I think I don't remember what it's called, but you trade you get draws, and it's like shouting at the crew. You get some draws, but it makes the morale go down. But I don't really need morale, and I don't want another find weak spot. So again, I need more cards. I'm trying to add 1 or 2 a week, and eventually that will compound. And when I get to about 100, I think we're going to have a pretty good game on our hands here. That's my feeling. Hold us steady. We've got outmaneuver. That's what I really would have liked last time, because I had a really vulnerable side, and then they flipped, and it was really annoying. But if this means I can flip their ship, I'm not having trouble with evasion, so I'm not going to pick that one. I really need to make this card selection screen much more fancy. It should be all ceremonial and particle effects and noises. It's so quiet, this game. I need to do a bit more on adding sounds. And again, just seeing stuff we've seen already, so you sort of see the edges of this game quite quickly. Now, I've got choices here. And in fact, I've got quite a few choices. And one thing that I'm not really doing much defense, so I could try and go crazy on offense. So I could get rid of this and actually buy another torpedo on this side, okay? And then I could upgrade this one. So now I've got 3 offense on this side. I even have money. I think I should make these a bit more expensive. I could put a shield up and then protect this side as well. So I put a shield bubble up and protect this side, because that seems to... The AI at the moment seems to just be going for this. The AI can do other stuff. It's meant to find weak spots. If it makes a weak spot, it will exploit it, but it never really makes a weak spot. So I need to work on that. Sometimes it seems to go for the bridge when it's run out of weapons to destroy, but you don't see that very often either, because to be honest, the enemies aren't very hard yet. I think with my overload reactor, and a 3 level 2 reactor, and I've got an overload. The next level's 1000, by the way, which is why I'm not really going to go for it. I think I can afford myself a nice shield. Lovely. Okay. So I think I've done all my upgrades, so let's go. I think because I've got so much energy, I'm just going to pace it towards Earth, although that's going to make enemies bigger and tougher. Still scouts, though. So... Oh, because he's heading away from me, so I'm going to have to go fast now to catch him up. 3.2. 2.2. They're trying to run away. So when they detected me, and now they're trying to get out of here, but it's a bit too late for them. I'm faster than them, so I'm gonna catch them up. I think they've realised that. Yeah, I got this bug again. So I'm going to save and then try this trick again. Just coming back in. There we go. Yeah, I'll fix that for next time. So what do? Replicator, reload. Not very good for starting hand at all. In fact, that was awful. I might move closer, spend some energy on that. Because what I could do is you can shut your shield down for a bit. So if you shut your shield down, I'll show you what happens. The shield will stop consuming power, but it will shrink every turn. So I could do that for a bit. They are going to shoot at me, so maybe I shouldn't. I'll show you one turn and you can see what it's like. 4 reloads. Let's lock on effective command. I just need a gun. I just need something to fire. Oh. Okay. Let's go. So can you see how that's shrunk down because it's not being fed with power? And I need to make the UX really clear on this. I think what I'm actually going to try is making it like reload so that you actually charge the shields via a card, which uses energy, rather than having this funny UI where you either have it on or off. I think that will probably not be too much effort for the user. I don't want the player to be like having them getting RSI from my game, but at the same time, I think most verbs, most things you want to do should be via a card. So I should probably try and shoot these down, really. What I really need is a freaking gun card. How many? These are randomized, so I don't know what order they're going to come in. I'm trying to save these. I might evade one of those. Do you see how? So evade is the opposite of point defense, so that it's 1 plus the number of how just far away it is. So if I want to maximize my evasion, I want to be as far away as possible. Okay, I've got withering torpedoes. I'm reluctant to do the same strategy because they've armored up that. I do like the matter though, so I might try and hit. I've got loads of energy, so I might hit their energy supplies this time. Reloading frenzy. Reloading frenzy works well when you're using multiple guns. It does say reload all guns in gunnery deck. I should say it reloads all guns by 1 because that makes it seem really powerful. Like it just completely reloads them. The other thing I could do with reloading frenzy is completely reload a gun, like 1 gun. I'll play with it. Anyway, let's carry on. Replicator. I might replicate this. Hold her steady. I'll save that till I've got. Do I want? I don't. I might use the find weak spot now. No, I'm going to save that. I don't have any I want to get rid of. I don't need reloading frenzy right now. But I haven't got any draws. I don't know why I'm even agonizing over this. Okay, so now I've got a bit of a problem because is this ship really like it's the scaling of this? It should scale a bit faster than this. I think maybe I need to work on the scaling because this doesn't seem. It seems easier than the last ship. It should be harder. So don't know what's going on there. Anyway, they're not shooting at me. I do need to deal with these torpedoes coming towards me. I'm going to find the weak spot on there, and I'm just going to make that really vulnerable. I'm going to fire lights. They'll hit their next turn. I just want to fire stuff. I just want to shoot something. Oh man, I'm going to have to take the full brunt of this. You're going to. Oh, but I've got a shield, so there we go. That's pretty good. They're going to. I can evade one more. I mean, the other thing I could do is just move away. That's what I could do. Or I could take the hit. I'm just going to move away for one turn. I'm going to evade this one. And then I'm going to just... Oh, I should have held steady and then shot that. Didn't quite have the energy for it anyway. There we go. So Simon, so they've got, I think that's the thing that's scaled, is that they have engineers now. This is 6 vulnerable now, so that's pretty good. It always takes damage. I should have held steady again. Playing this game properly. It's when I get tired. I'm saving this out maneuver for when they flip, but they haven't flipped yet. Because I really want to exploit that vulnerable armor and maybe get Simon. I'm just going to take this. I've managed to weaken them a bit. Oh, boom, boom. Oh, my shields took it all. Yeah, poor Simon is... Well, he's got a little space suit on. Simon has been ejected into the cold vacuum of space. That will happen eventually. Eventually, I'm thinking of having sucked out. So your crew guy gets sucked out and you have to rescue them. Maybe with a card or something. Or maybe just it costs energy to rescue them. I think I haven't quite worked it out. But yeah, that'd be cool to get them sucked out into space. I think the idea in my head is that they have like little special suits that can immediately deploy. So if there won't really be an oxygen running out of mechanic because they've all got little spacesuits on. If I move, I've got no damage here, but if I move someone to a damaged spot outside, they put a little spacesuit on. It's not, I haven't quite modelled that. Anyway, look, Simon's done some repair. He's starting to repair this. We'll see how well he does. Reload. Actually, reloading frenzy. I don't want to flip and then... Yeah, I might flip, fire some more stuff. It'd be really nice if I could use this one as well, and then reloading frenzy is really going to pay dividends. As soon as I get rid of outmaneuver, there's going to be problems. Smashes. That's going to be so good against that armor. Basic point defense. I'll save that for next turn. And then I'll use the reloading frenzy. Let's see how this plays out. So, point defense, boom. Reloading frenzy. Whee! Oh my goodness, it really does reload all of them. That wasn't really intended, actually. It wasn't intended that it could fully reload this gun. I mean, that's pretty powerful. I'm happy right now. But that's can be exploited probably. Or maybe I just make it more expensive. Maybe that's why it's expensive. Because it's great. You tell me. I really got to take care of these guys. I might flip again because my shield's still there. But that's my juicy side. I could just let this side take damage. Could overload the reactor every time this turn. This run, I do it. I've done damage. But I've got plenty of energy. They haven't flipped, which is very interesting. Reload. Right, point defense. That's exactly what I needed. Now I'm going to hold steady, and then I'm going to fire right at Simon's little head. And hopefully Simon's going to be killed. Simon has been eviscerated. Frank has been eviscerated. Oh, and I've done enough damage to the reactor so that they're not producing any energy now. So they will not be able to reload now. So this is their last shot. And I've killed all their engineers, so they can't repair. So this is end of days for them. So I'm going to move closer. And I'm going to just get ready to defend. And then I think it's win time. Do I need to lock on? Not really. I'm going to show you, if I move away a lot now, I can evade these, and I can completely evade all. It's a bit overkill, actually. They're firing thermals at me. Why didn't they pull those babies out of the pack, out of the bag earlier? You can't catch me. I need to make this game harder. I tried to make it a little bit harder. If you see, if we get to a bigger enemy in this run, you'll see that the bigger enemies really, really do punch. But maybe I need to scale it a bit more. I'm not going to get much energy for this reactor. So now they're just in bad times. So yeah, that basically I've only got 10 because I destroyed that reactor. I didn't get much energy, but I got plenty of matter. 336. We've got some more cards. Again, you're seeing the limit of the cards I've got. I don't want either of those because I've got them already. Ions, thermals. Thermals are always fun. Ions might be useful against shielded things. Let's do some thermals so I can show you like it damaging the crew. It's quite fun. I want big barrage. I'm going to pick that as well. And I can do some more upgrades. So now I know that this reloading frenzy reloads everything. So the other thing I can upgrade is armor, but they're really not doing much damage to me at the moment. So when they start doing more damage to my hull, I'm going to start doing that. I think the best thing I can do is upgrade that. I need to reload these guns. Damaged? Yeah, not sure. It's lying to me. So I have got enough energy for another. I could upgrade that as well. So if I do need to turn around and fire point defense, I can. Right, let's get home. Let's go home. We must pick a big boy next turn. I'm going to start going half ahead because when I start getting to about 200, I'm thinking. So we're only 8 light years from Earth. This is what I mean about the random number generator. It's like I've gone a lot of days and I haven't met an enemy. And when I do meet an enemy, they're going to be terrifyingly huge. Yep, Reptorian cruiser, large. So I've gone from having a super easy enemy to an extremely hard one. So one thing I'm thinking about for next time is I'm going to have shops or bases that you can go repair, but those bases might be already taken over by Reptorians, and you need to liberate it and kill a mini boss. Like in Slay the Spire has little mini bosses, so it adds some level of being able to know that you're going to have some battles, and then the other battles are kind of a bonus, maybe. Or maybe I go and end up just doing a normal Slay the Spire style map, right? That's the other thing I might think of doing, which allows you to really control the pacing. Or I could tweak the random number generators so that it doesn't give you huge amounts of time without finding anyone, because this guy is going to be big. Yeah, so I think that theory about having a fatigue card breaking the game is correct, because I didn't have a fatigue card last one and I didn't have the problem. So look at this beast. So I can show you some new things here. So you can see that they've got masses of torpedo rounds at me, like 3 there, 2 there, 2 there, and they've got just as much on this side. And what's worse is that I've made it so that when they realise that they've got lots, they fire torpedo level 2 torpedo pluses. So this fires 10 torpedoes, and they're going to fire 3 of those. So I'm going to have 30 torpedoes heading towards me next turn, which is, as you can see, a big step up in difficulty level. Which is, but I've got a big barrage, so there we go. So one strategy. Oh wow, it's not going to work. One thing I can do, so the only thing that might work is trying to destroy their energy production, and that would mean that they can shoot, but they can't really reload very well and use their cards. But that's not going to work very well because this level 3 armor is going to be almost impenetrable. Big barrage might do it, and also it's kind of partially shielded. So I'm going to just try and smash up this this gunnery deck and maybe kill a few of their crew. So that used 2. So it used 1 from here and 1 from here. It's fired 10 at them. I'll just fire lights as well. Reloading frenzy, now I know it's super powerful, is great, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to move closer actually, so that these are going to hit sooner. And then I'm going to flip, fire, and then I'm going to do reloading frenzy. Ah! And then maybe I'll think about those 30 torpedoes coming towards me. So there we go. So I've done some damage to their point defense. And they're coming to repair. So hopefully, and they're not going to shoot this down next time, but they are going to flip. Oh, that's a shame. So I'm going to flip. I'm going to fire my basic torpedoes. Because the problem is that this side, this is where my outmaneuver is going to become super important, because this side has got level 3 armor, so I can't really allow them to flip. I'm saving that, so I'm going to do some witherings. Witherings, I'd really like to get up to the front line. So what I'd like to do is shunt would be really nice, because then I can get the witherings in first. I could replicate that, but that's not really good. Better to replicate something that's more valuable like that. So I get 2 more of those. Now, I'm going to wait one more turn for reloading frenzy, because I can't do anything else, and I'm hoping to get some point defenses. I was really hoping I'd get another draw. Oh, they flipped. So you can see how many things hit and how little damage it did to this level 3 armor. It did do damage to their weapons, though, so I've got to be somewhat... So I'll keep that evade in my hand. I'm going to do a reloading frenzy now. Let's see what I get, actually. Effective command, ion pulse. If only I could pulse things in lock. I'm probably going to make this my last game, by the way. I am almost asleep at the wheel here. I've got an early school night as well, so I'm probably going to go to bed. Anyway, hold it steady. Am I going to fire? I'm not really firing. I'm going to point defense. Glorious. That's pathetic, though. It's not going to do much. So what I'm going to do is flip. I'm not going to reload because there's no point right now. I could do lights if I reload, but I'm going to flip onto my shielded side, and I'm just going to pray. I could move away. Not a terrible idea. Or I could just take the damage. Oh no, they're shooting my stuff down. Yeah, this is a big step up in difficulty. I'm going to move away, give myself one more turn. At least the withering torpedoes hit. But, unfortunately, because they didn't hit a flat surface, they didn't actually hit the armor, they hit bar, and they didn't hit the armor. So only one of them actually hit, so that's not great. Right, let's do that reloading frenzy. I've got no energy. I can't evade. I'm in trouble. Reload, overload reactor. That time I got lucky. So that time it didn't need repairing. Might as well just keep firing. Just all I can do. Scramble their targeting is going to be useful, but I don't have any energy. If I could flip, that would be, and then I could shoot more of their stuff down. I can't move away. No energy is no fun. So let's just see what happens. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, well, at least you get to see what happens when you get damaged. So we need to do some repairs here. What have you got? Replicator, an ion pulse. And you are quite hurt, actually. I could send her to the med bay, but she's still on her feet, so I'm going to repair this gun. Or I could repair my shields, get those back online. I'm not convinced I'm going to win this. Let's do some more scrambling of theirs. So they're -2 accuracy, so at least that's something. And this is what I mean by flipping. Now I want to flip that horribly scarred side away and see what I can do. Because one tactic might be, if you have a shield on both sides, you could just let this shield die a bit while it's on the other side and boost the shield that's come onto this side. Now smashers I don't want to use because I've got nothing vulnerable yet. I really want them to flip to the other side or have that outmaneuver card. Thermals. Now that might be another way to do things. If I can get some thermals in here, start frying up here. Let's move closer where we can. Find weak spot. I'll do that before they hit. Actually, where's this hitting? There. I could find a weak spot on this and see if I can do any damage to it. Oh, hang on a minute. What happened there? It gave me the death animation, but I think what happened is that 2 of them did die, but they immediately got replaced with some more engineers. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2 crew killed. So I did kill 2, but they moved 2 more engineers into their position. Like an endless army of Reptorians. So I could move my... I think this is going to make it anyway, so I'm not going to waste my shunt torpedo on that. Do I? I'm just wondering if this uses power even when it's destroyed. Or just to be sure, I'll switch it off. Yeah, it doesn't. You can see I'm getting 3 next turn. Save 3 redraws. I don't need to point defense right now. Outmaneuver. Oh, I don't want to do outmaneuver this turn. Maybe I'll do that another turn. Oh no, I did one. I didn't see they were going to flip. Oh. I wonder if I can make that more obvious. They're going to flip. Because that would be that. If I'd known that, I would have outmaneuvered them. And then they would have flipped, and then it would have flipped again, and I would have actually hit my thermals. That completely wasted my thermal torpedoes. That was very sad times. Now they're reloading their massive battery of guns. It's the only chance I really have of getting in. But this slightly weaker side's on here now. I'm going to fire my smashers speculatively. God, how long is she taking to repair this? I'm starting to think that repairs don't work on... Maybe that's another issue. They definitely work on guns, so let's move to guns. I'll look into that as well. But now I'm going to keep my outmaneuver and keep a bit of energy in supply. Oh, I'm panicking now. So that's another thing you haven't seen before, is that when our ship panics, you get these panic cards, which sort of make things even worse. Right, let's fire some more thermals. Try and get in here again. They're going to shoot things down. There's my fatigue. Get rid of that. I should definitely panic. Don't really want another fatigue. Let's reload frenzy just so I can fire these off. Smashes. Okay, at least I'm firing a lot of stuff at them. I'm going to get these withering torpedoes in first so that they can... Maybe that wasn't wise. Because the problem is that... Maybe I should make withering torpedoes a little area effect. It's very depressing when they don't actually hit the armor. And then they don't... Because you'll see, like, it didn't... The withering torpedoes are firing now and only 2 of them actually hit the armor. Or it could be just something like, don't shoot at these weapons because it's not going to hit the... I'm starting to just ramble now. Right, okay. Let's make that even more vulnerable, and then we can... Scramble. Big barrage would be quite nice around now. So Sophia's actually repairing this now. I think it just takes more time than I thought to repair. It should be a bit more clear. It should say this many turns until repair or something. Oh, thanks. Someone said, yeah, Joe likes the art on the panic cards. Yeah, and I do understand. Yeah, there's a punishing loop when you take damage, you lose crew cards, then panic. Yes, it does turn into a negative spiral, but in some ways, I'm trying to design it so that if you die quick. I don't like it so that you're sort of being teased. I'd like the cat to pounce and kill you. So if you are outmatched, it's game end of run, I'm afraid. with some chance, some miracle that might come and get you out of the tight spot. I might still win this. So even though I've got a bunch of bad stuff happening to me, I might actually win. We'll see. Because this. So I've got some thermal. So I've got fire. That should keep the light guys busy. I've killed 2 more of their crew. I think this I might bag this one, even though I took some pretty heavy damage. And so that you see that, so Larry's putting this fire out, and he's going to take damage while that's happening. And if there are any engineers, which I don't think there are, they would then be trying to fix that and take damage as well. So it's only but in one engineer left. So if I can get that big barrage off, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? They're going to flip, so I'm going to outmaneuver them because I really want to be on that side. So this is interesting. I flip them, so then they're going to flip again onto this side. I just need to reload, really. If I can hold her steady, can I afford an overload reactor? Oh no, that was a really bad call. So my reactor's completely destroyed now. Like, not completely destroyed, but it's not producing any energy. So I'm in a real... That was an idiot move. Anyway, I could fire them, so I got a choice. Big barrage. Yeah, let's do the big barrage. Let's go crazy. Let's finish them off. And go right into that weak spot. That's going to be on the other side in a sec. So now they're going to flip back onto that side. Panic's in here. I've bottomed out on morale, unfortunately. And now they're firing torpedoes too at me. Oh no. So I just need, this is my last hurrah, really, I think. Shunt salvo, so I can shunt this straight away. Maybe I should do that. There's no point really, because it's going to hit anyway. So I might as well save the energy. Get my point defense ready. Let's go. So, right. Okay. That could have gone worse. So now I've done enough damage to the gunnery deck that, oh, you see this flashing here, unable to fire. They can't fire from this gunnery deck at all now. So that's really, really taken them down a notch. So my goal now is to try and get as much point defense on them as possible. So I'm saving that reload. I've got 2 point defenses in the bag. Got 2 reloads, which will be enough to do. I'm just going to wait till next turn and see how much damage I can do to. They put the fire out. Point defense. Thermal warheads, that's not much use to me right now. Evade, I'll save that. I could of course shunt one of theirs back, or I could just move my ship back. Hold her steady. Nope. Shunt, of course. Where are they aiming? Here, of course. Because I've done quite a lot of damage to their accuracy, they are at least not going to necessarily hit all of my soft stuff. So I'm going to wait a turn for reloading, because I don't know what sort of horrible damage. Actually, I'm going to move away. Gives me an extra 10. They must have surrendered. I think that all that damage to their room really shook them. So that's probably not very realistic, that they were kind of almost going to win and then they surrender. So again, more tweaking, more fun. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to call it there. Just check that. This is one. Add 4 draws. That would definitely be one I pick, because I'm starting to really have a bit of trouble with this deck. I'm also going to add it so that you can start using experience to destroy cards and start leaning out your deck, because you start getting really quite a fat deck at this point. Thermal pulse could be fun, because that just makes a thermal. It immediately sets fires in their ship, and you've seen all of those. So great. I think I'm going to call it there. So yeah, thanks for everyone that's stayed until the end. I hope you like the way the game's going. If you've got any ideas, of course, let me know. If you know anyone that you think might like to play or watch these live streams, please let them know. Send them a link to the Twitch and the Steam page. It's all appreciated. Just getting the game, just getting people to know this game exists. I think that's the main problem that I'm facing. Just making sure that people get eyes on it. So I think it's got a lot of potential, and it's sort of going really fast now. I think now that I've got the core of the game, I'm just sort of just adding depth, and I'm adding new features that are sort of enhancing the game. Okay, with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.